Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, checking in on the dollar and commodities. We'll look at gold, oil, and natural gas. So checking in on the weekly pattern for the dollar, we do have a little bit of a double top, 35.53, and we're consolidating. As long as the bulls hold a higher low compared to 93.19, they keep the uptrend in their favor. If we lose that level, that will be notable, and that will be a signal that the oversold bounce on gold likely can get some follow through. So at this point, gold has definitely been struggling and the dollar has been extremely strong. And that's still the case at this point, as long as the weekly higher low pattern is maintained, which is why we're watching that support level. But here on the daily chart, you can see this double top and a firm rejection. And if we lose this level of 94.17, we have a double top and then a loss of the higher lows on the daily. That will be signal number one that further consolidation is coming. So that's exactly what the gold bulls want to see. The weekly chart for gold, as we know, the bulls are trying to maintain these longer term higher low patterns. I'm looking at 12.05 and then 12.36, and the bulls are trying to form a higher low. 12.46 is currently that level. I'm just rounding, and the daily chart was very oversold. So the RSI dropped down essentially to 20. We now have a bullish reversal candlestick breaking the daily lower high patterns, but we have to see follow through and we have to be cautious of a bear flag until we have convincing follow through. So if we, on this move, pretty much anything below 1272 is a lower high on the daily. So this initial bounce isn't going to give us much information. The bulls, in order to change this daily trend, are going to need to bounce, set a lower high, and then give us a higher low and a higher high to change this trend. And right now, that is obviously a ways away from happening. So it's going to be at least a week, in my opinion, before we see any clarity and conviction by these bulls. So I need to see dollar weakness. I need to see the daily uptrend lost and then the weekly uptrend lost in order for me to be confident that the gold bulls can hold this weekly higher low and try and make their way back up towards 1300. So definitely worth keeping an eye on. The ways to play that would be GLD or UGLD for a leveraged 3-time bull. So GLD is just playing gold. And let's look at the daily time frames real quick. So bullish reversal candlestick bounce is underway, and UGLD, which is playing gold as well, is trying to see a bounce. So from the low to the high, just in this little move, 921 to 943, so a couple percent gains there, but obviously we need a lot of follow through. So those are the ways to play it without having exposure to miners in the market. Otherwise, you're looking at JNUG and NUGT, but the stock market overall is a factor there as well. Oil has been a raging bull this weekly time frame, just V-shaped recovery to higher highs and continuing the uptrend. So when we pulled back, higher low established on the weekly at 63.62, and now we shot up another $9. So when we consolidate on the weekly, we'll look for just another higher low, but at this point, the bulls are still in full control. We are due for consolidation. Look at the RSI on the daily, and it's pulled back from this level of 70 multiple times. Last few times we've touched it. And here we are touching it again, and there's no doubt we are extended in the short term. A daily higher low is 67.77, and anything above that level will maintain daily higher lows. We can see the 4-hour time frame. RSI has been above 70 for a long time, but it's still higher lows, and it's until we lose the higher lows, the bulls keep control. So if you were looking to play DWT and to play inverse oil and to flip it on a short-term pullback, the first signal would be a loss of the hourly higher low pattern. And once we get that loss, then we look to put a stop loss below the high in case the bulls see continuation. So that level is 73.78, and then we're looking down at a key support level of 72.91. Those are the two most important short-term support levels, and that's only if you wanted to play bearish. Otherwise, you could just continue playing bullish, which has been working for the bulls for a long time. Most specifically with that opportunity recently where we did pull back and establish that weekly higher low. So bulls on parade in full control. And it's the RSI levels are not giving us enough signal in pullback. We have to be looking for a loss of these shorter term uptrends as a signal of a start to weakness. NGQ 2018, looking at natural gas, we have a tightening pattern to be watching. And you can see that with the weekly inside bar. But here on the daily chart, we had a bull break of an equilibrium. So the equilibrium was our high, low of the pullback, lower high, higher low, and it just played out so nicely. The bull break occurred right before the inventory report came out. So I disregarded it to a certain degree. And then once the inventory report came out, we saw a clear bear reaction. So a little bit of a fake out, but that was due to the inventory report, which I normally don't trade during those inventory reports. I wait till after. And we have a higher low at 2896. Bulls really want to hold that level because a bull break, fake out, and a complete turnaround and loss of the higher lows would be a potential indication that weekly consolidation is now going to begin, and we're going to look to head back into the 280s, so the low 280s. So that's where we stand on natural gas, keeping an eye on that key support. Bulls really want to hold 2896 on Monday and Tuesday. So there's a lot of opportunity with some volatility out there. We've got oil on fire, looking for potential healthy consolidation. We got gold just starting an oversold bounce, need to see further dollar weakness there. And we do have the FOMC on Wednesday, which is a potential reaction. Actually, you might not have to check the date there. FOMC is coming up, but we do have Wednesday as the holiday, so that might throw off the date a little bit. Double check when the FOMC is, because that's going to obviously have an impact on the dollar and on gold. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend. We'll check back in soon.